Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Many Tribes, One Kingdom. It's your good friend John, and we are resuming our summary of every single book of the Bible. Today we will be summarizing the book of Joshua, so stay tuned. Alright, book of Joshua. So we've completed the law, and now we're in the history books of Israel, the history books of the Old Testament. This book focuses on Joshua, son of Nun, the successor of Moses, and the conquest of the land of Canaan that he led. So let's get into the summary. Moses has passed away, and God now appoints Joshua to lead the people. God gives Joshua an important command. Keep the law close and meditate on it often. To begin the conquest, Joshua sends 2 spies into Canaan to spy out Jericho. This fortress will be the first city of conquest. The spies find a prostitute named Rahab in Jericho, and she hides them from the soldiers of Jericho the king sends, misleading them into the hills when they ask where the spies went. The spies agree to spare her and her family as a sign of thanks, and as a sign that she has accepted the God of Israel. They give her a scarlet cord to hang in her window when the battle comes. This will spare her and her family. They return to Joshua and the rest of the army, and they inform him that the soldiers of Jericho are frightened. They know God has given them the land. But first, they have to cross over the Jordan. Just like with the Red Sea, God holds the waters of the Jordan still, and the people cross into Canaan. After exiting the Jordan River, Joshua has the people set up a monument using stones from the middle of the river. This will be a constant memorial that God stopped the waters for the Israelites to cross into their new home. They celebrate the Passover, and the people are circumcised by Joshua. Also, this is the time when the manna ceases to fall from heaven. From now on, the people will eat the produce of the land God promises them. Now comes the battle for Jericho itself. While watching the city, Joshua is confronted by someone who calls himself the commander of the Lord's armies. He gives Joshua instructions for the battle to come. The people will march around Jericho in procession with the Ark of the Covenant and the priests once a day for 6 days. On the 7th day, they will march 7 times and shout when the trumpets are blown. The people do this, and when they shout, the walls of Jericho fall, and the Israelite army destroys everything and everyone, except for Rahab and her family. The city is burned, and the valuables are placed in the treasury of the Lord. These are valuables that are not to be given as spoils of war to the people. However, Achan steals some things from the destruction of Jericho, thus bringing down a curse from God on all of Israel. They lose a battle against Ai, and while wailing in grief, Joshua is reprimanded by God because of Israel's disobedience. Lots are cast, and Achan's crime is discovered. The articles of silver and gold and the clothing he stole are returned to God, and he and his family are put to death for their crimes. With the curse of Achan removed, Israel again attacks Ai. Joshua divides the forces and sets an ambush behind the city. When the soldiers come out to attack Joshua's side of the army, the ambushed soldiers attack Ai from behind and burn it. This time, the people are allowed to take the valuables of the city for themselves. The people then enact the ritual which Moses commanded them to do, pronouncing the blessings and curses of God to one another. Now, it's at this point that Israel is tricked by the Gibeonites, a Hivite people group who live in the land. They convince the Israelites that they are from outside of the promised land, which means they are free to make a treaty with them. But instead of asking God for advice, the Israelites make a peace treaty with the Gibeonites right away. When Joshua learns the truth, he orders the Gibeonites to become the servants of God forever. They can't kill them. They can't punish them, but they will make sure that they will forever serve God because of their lie. A coalition of Amorites attacks Gibeon as retribution, causing Joshua and the Israelites to save them. During the battle, God causes the day to stop, not allowing sunset until Joshua had finished destroying the Amorite coalition. A second coalition, this one of Canaanites of all different tribes, attacks Israel and is defeated. Joshua's conquests are reviewed, including all the cities he conquered. Caleb also returns to claim his inheritance, being the only other spy who didn't rebel when Moses sent them into the promised land. Caleb was allowed to live alongside Joshua. He conquers land in Judah for him and his family. His nephew Othniel claims part of the land, destroys the inhabitants who are living there, and marries the daughter of Caleb. Now the book discusses the different cities inherited by each tribe. The borders are given, even of land that had not yet been conquered. We learn the territories of Judah and the sons of Joseph. These will be the southern and northern borders, respectively. Joshua sends men to scout out the remainder of the land and gives Benjamin his inheritance. Simeon's inheritance is put in the middle of Judah. The rest of the tribes, Zebulun, Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and Dan, are then given theirs. Joshua is instructed to set aside the cities for those guilty of manslaughter and the cities for the Levites to live in. With the conquest complete, the soldiers from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, who settled down in Gilead, are permitted to return to their inheritance on the other side of Jordan. On the way, they set up an altar, which causes the other tribes to initially think that this is an altar for idols, and they are prepared to go to war with their brethren over it. However, the Reubenites, Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh explain that the altar they set up is to be a monument of constant reminder that they are part of the Lord's people. The book closes with Joshua's final address to the people. They have had rest, they buried the bones of Joseph, and Joshua knows he's going to die soon. So he summons the people and encourages them to follow God over all others. The book closes with the death of Joshua and the leaders of his generation. The themes of the book of Joshua. Joshua reminds us of the separation that must exist between the people of God and the people of the world. We cannot exist in union with sin, evidenced by the removal of the Canaanites from the land. Sin is a very persuasive and invasive parasite that can easily mislead, so it had to be removed. Joshua also serves as a type for Jesus to come. Joshua leads the people in righteousness against the forces of evil, and Jesus has done so and will do so with us as his army. The book of Joshua is a fascinating read, showing that God will act in judgment against sin, even if it is from his own people, like in the case of Achan. While it has been read more than some of the other books we've already reviewed, Joshua, only certain parts of it are reviewed, namely the Battle of Jericho. So it's important to continue to study the works of God and what he has done throughout the scriptures. I recommend you read the book of Joshua and try to find the themes that connect it to the rest of the Old Testament, the rest of the New Testament, and to the person and work of Jesus Christ. That about does it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching and encourage you, if you haven't subscribed yet, to go ahead and do so. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. The Book of Judges summary will be coming out soon. And I want to thank you for your continued support for all of us here at Many Tribes, One Kingdom. Have a great day, and God bless you.